Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is where you are, and welcome back to another episode on the Annoyed Dad channel. I just thought I would stop here first thing of the morning. Oh look, here comes the little old lady with a little hood up, except it's a boy. Anyway, I just thought I would stop here on my way down to see the birds because it is 8:15 in the morning, and I thought I'd show you we've got a frost. That's probably the worst frost we've had so far this year. Not doing too bad, but I just spotted that and thought, frost. Well, my first job of the day was to bring over the new geese and place them in with the old geese. So I did that a little bit after recording about the frost, and it's now just gone 11 o'clock. And as you can see, me coming in has moved all of the geese about. But if you're able to spot them in there, they are in there. The one's just walking over to the left there, that's Mr. A and Lottie, and then the one just behind, that one there and that one there, they're new ones, and then the other new one is just at the back, just over there. Sorry for having to use my finger to point at it like that, but that's the easiest way to describe it. So even though they haven't been able to see each other, they have actually blended in straight away quite well. Last time we brought up some birds, we brought them straight up and we placed them straight into here without any kind of break, because they came straight from home and we knew they were okay. But where these guys have obviously been able to hear each other and have been able to talk to each other, you can see they're wandering off just up there with Mr. A. Well, two of them are. Where these guys have been able to talk to each other, they've obviously got to know each other a little bit. They've heard each other, and so now they're blended in and they're doing quite well. I think that's quite a good introduction. Now let's move on to one of my other tasks from this morning. So I had two things I had to do this morning. One thing was to go off and pick up a new project, and the other thing was to go off and to pick up these guys. See, we've got one there, out comes the other one. I like it when they just walk out on their own. So these, as you can see, are light Sussex Cockrells. They have come from, nice, thanks, just what we want to see. They have come from somebody who bred them, hatched them out. Oops. They hatched them out and they had a lot of boys. Obviously we lost our boys in the fox attack not so long ago. So they are still quite young and they need to get a little bit of meat on the bones, shall we say. But these will go with the Sussex girls, and they will hopefully be able to breed with them, and they will be part of our breeding flock for light Sussexes. Now the other thing I had to do was I had a project I had to go to pick up, which was to pick up the solar panel to help to power the shed. So I drove all the way over there. It was about 3/4 of an hour away. I drove all the way over there for the person to message me and say, oh sorry, I'm stuck in traffic, I'm not going to be there till this afternoon. I was like, great, cheers, thank you ever so much. Right, let's get on with the next bit of the video. Well, I'm stood in here with the chickens at the minute, and I thought now is as good a time as any to start answering some of your questions that you guys have left me. So I will be jumping around and going to various different places and doing different things just to be able to show you various things that you have asked. But I have to say there's been some cracking questions put in. So let's get away from the geese, because otherwise they're just going to scream over the top of us. So first of all, David, can you please do a video on what feed you feed all your animals and how much it costs you a week/month and how much you feed them? Thanks, just a thought, and to keep up the good work. Well, I am doing my best to keep up the good work, I can assure you of that. I've done various videos as to what the feed is I give them and how much I do. I believe it was day number 2 we'd done the morning feeding routine, and yesterday we done, or the day before, we done the feed that we buy for the animals and how much it actually costs. How much do I feed them? I use that with experience. At this time of the year, obviously they are being fed a little bit more than what they would be fed, say, in the middle of June, when all of the grass is growing and there's a lot more bugs and grubs and other little bits and pieces that they're able to get into. I use experience, and I also like to handle the birds. you would have seen where we'd done the goose wing clipping video. I did say that at the end of that video there was a couple of the geese in there that were a little bit underweight, so I have upped the weight of their feed, and I am giving them slightly more. Hope that's answered it. Next one, Tanaka, I hope I've said that right, Tanaka K's says, are the supermarket hens still about? Closely followed by Karen Potts, who said, oh yes, I forgot about those. Right, let's go for a stroll. We had 2 eggs that hatched from eggs we brought from Sainsbury's. They were called Jay and Sainsbury, and we had them in this enclosure for a little while. Then I built, it's on its side here, a chicken tractor, because I wanted to use that coop there for another reason. And this worked brilliantly. They were in there, they were loving it, they were jumping around, and then one day Mr. Fox came in and was able to work out how to get into it. And unfortunately, we lost them both that night. The fox took one and left the other for us to have to clean up. So yeah, unfortunately, they were gone. Right, next question. Mistaken Stranger, one of my top commenters, always likes to comment, other than Mr. J-Bid, but he didn't ask me a question, he just put thanks, like he always does. So thank you, J-Bid. But anyway, back to Mistaken Stranger's question. At what age should you dispatch excess roosters, and at what age do you dispatch hens that stopped laying? Okay, let's go back in here. The question as to what age you should dispatch excess roosters, or the cockrells, whatever you want to call them, is a question which, if you ask 3 different poultry keepers, you will get 8 different answers. It's one of those sorts of things. It's down to individual own needs, wants and appearances. So there are some breeds like the cream-crested leg bars. I can't see my hen kicking about, but I do have a cream-crested leg bar hen, and when they hatch out, you're able to tell instantly if it's a boy or if it's a girl, just because of the colour of the chick. There are other ones where you have to wait a few months to be able to work it out. And you can see I'm just going around here and I'm following the Moran cockerels. We've got 3 of them in here. Now, my personal preference is that hens start to lay when they come to 6 months of age, roughly, approximately. Cockerels at that age also reach maturity and are basically ready to go in with hens to do the breeding business. At that point, or within a few weeks of that, is when I like to personally to dispatch them. However, I have seen various things on the Facebook groups and other places where there are a few people who say anything up to 18 months to dispatch a cockerel if it's being used as the food. Otherwise, you can just basically dispatch as and when you feel like it. The other question is, when do I dispatch hens that have finished laying? I don't. I'm a bit of a soft sod in that respect, and I don't dispatch hens once they have been done with the laying. We just keep them on, we let them grow old, they just live alongside the rest of the flock. So next question, slightly related to this as well, is from Joshua Hall. Joshua says, oh, he also comments quite a lot. Hello, Joshua. He also says, what's the best feed for fattening cockerels? Honestly, the best feed I have found this year for fattening cockerels is just to sling them in an orchard. The 3 we had in the orchard that we took out, they were probably the 3 best birds I have ever taken, ever. They were absolutely fantastic. They were able to get in there and they were able to eat all of the bugs, all of the grubs, all of the apples, the pears, the plums, the whole lot. They went in there, and the meat off of them is absolutely fantastic. If you cannot get hold of an orchard to put them in, the next best is going to be pasture. Getting them out, eating the stuff they would eat naturally. After that, it really comes down to whether you want to fatten them up on corn or whether you want to fatten them up on wheat. Either way, both will add weight onto your bird. Right, okay, next question is from Garden Girl Gardener. Hello, regular commenter as well on these lockdown videos. Great look around. How many eggs are you getting a day stroke week at this time of year? Most of my big chickens have started molting, so not many a day for me. Can I ask if you use an incubator for chicks? What time of year would you use it? What food I say, like worm as pellets, say 1 kilogram of feed to a chicken last week. Right, okay. So how many eggs are we getting a day, roughly? Yeah, you're in the video, don't worry about it, no need to make a noise. So at the minute, we're not getting too many. So let's go in here with the chickens. They're all in here hiding. You can see what we got now. We got 5, we got 6. There's a couple that lay around on the floor. So let's say maybe 8 in a day. We've then got the chickens over here and with the geese that have just started laying, they might give us another 2. So maybe if we're lucky, 10 a day. Reason being, and one of the things I did say I wanted to do at the start of the video was because of the lack of light, the birds are slowing down. It's just part of a natural process. At this time of year, they will slow down and they will stop laying. It's nothing to get worried about. So our chickens have slowed down. They've stopped. Not a big issue. As soon as we get back round to March again next year, it will start to boost up and it will really pick up again. You say that your chickens have started molting. Yes, you might have seen that when we brought in the rescue, in inverted commas, chickens, you would have seen that they instantly went into a molt, the whole lot of them. So we didn't get any eggs off them for quite a while, and a few of them still haven't really started kicking back in again with laying. Molting is one of the times where they need to put all of their energy into the feather production, so they stop laying eggs to be able to grow their feathers. Do I use an incubator? Yes, I do. I will admit I do currently have one incubator at home which is switched on with eggs in, but this is start of December. Never normally have it on at this time of year. I will typically turn it on again, or turn them on again, in end of February, early March next year, and we will keep going until about October time. Hopefully, fingers crossed, all being well. So yeah, that's the plan. If you're looking for incubation and egg hatching videos, we have got some great things planned for next year. They were planned for this year, but obviously the COVID's got in the way of everything and they stopped us from doing a lot of things. So a lot of things that were planned for this year, we're going to do next year. And yeah, I do have a little pile of incubators stacked up, ready to test and trial and see what we get from them. Next question, another regular commenter during the lockdown videos is Klaus. Hope I've said that right. My friend, I do have one question indeed. I struggle with high protein food for quails. Right, going through the questions and the answers with this one, with Klaus, we worked out that Klaus is in Holland and he's unable to get proper quail layers pellets. These here are what I feed our quail. These are quail's layers pellets, and they are about as big as a grain of rice. They're tiny, tiny little things. And they are meant to be high protein, high everything, ready to go. Now, I don't know what the regional and like a distribution is of these around the world into other countries, but that's what I use. I believe they are about 19 to 20% protein. It's not a huge amount, but it's a little bit more than what you get in the normal layers pellets. The answer I would give here is, if you can't get hold of them, does anybody else listening now know where Klaus might be able to get something, or anything that's just going to give him a bit of a boost for his quails? Because I can answer for England and the UK, but I can't answer for foreign places. But if anybody does know or has any other ideas, please do leave them down in the comment section below. So, next question. Misha Roberts, I love your videos. Hey, you're my fan. I have a question. How different is it raising geese as opposed to raising chickens? Right, yes, there is a difference. Let's go and have a look. So, chickens, 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 chickens. Okay, you listening? Keep your ears out. Okay, can you hear that? I hope you can, because I'm on the mic again. So the biggest difference between raising chickens and raising geese is the noise. Geese are a lot louder. When they grow up, as they are growing up, we had 5 this year at home. I think it's that 5 just there. They were at home, we raised them at home, we are not raising them at home next year. They were so noisy, the neighbours even started complaining, which is a thing that they didn't do. Other than that, there's not a lot of real sort of difference. You do treat the eggs slightly differently during the incubation process, but that's just more a case of making sure they've got humidity and that sort of things. The feeds are quite easy to work out. It's not a big difference. We kept them when they were younger in a standard chicken coop, so again that didn't make a big difference. They are pretty much the same. It's just like having a larger, noisier duck basically, but they are fantastic to have at home if you've got kids, or if you are a kid and you want a pet. Have a pet goose. Hatch yourself out a goose and have a goose, because they are absolutely fantastic to have. And as I say that, they're up there scrapping at the minute. They are, as geese, they are fantastic to have as pets. They will walk around with you, they will follow you, they will come when you call them. All different sort of things like that will happen. We're getting close to mating season, because that's Mr. A trying to herd up some girls. But yeah, they are great things to have as a pet, as the gosling, just wandering around your house with you. Absolutely fantastic. Well, that appears to have been it for the questions. If I have missed anybody, I do most humbly apologise. Please do leave it down below in the comments again, and I will try to make sure that I answer it in one of our other upcoming videos. It has been an absolute pleasure to be able to chat with you guys every single day as we have gone through England's lockdown number 2. Lockdown number 2 is now over and we're back into the tiers, whatever your view and opinion is on the tiers. But there we go, we are in them, and that's what we have got to put up with. Thank you so much for all of the likes, the comments, all of the interactions you guys have given me. It has been a pleasure. It hasn't been easy doing the videos every single day, and at first it was a steep learning curve to be able to work out how to process them and get them done every single day. We have gone from going around and doing stuff on the GoPro to doing stuff which is filmed on a mobile, and I believe the quality has just gone straight up 8-fold at least. We have seen some changes, we have done some things. There are things that we ought to have done that we haven't done, and we've had to put up with various other things like the avian influenza coming in, and the restrictions around that. Luckily, we're unaffected. So once again, thank you so much. The number of subs has gone up as expected, as it normally would do each month. I've got no idea how many it has actually gone up by, because every day I check YouTube I'm getting a different number, and we've been high, we've been low. YouTube just can't seem to add up at the minute, even though we're still in the low thousands, but we're getting there. So we are now going to move over to back to our twice weekly, hopefully, videos. We've got various things that are happening around the farm. There's been a few areas I haven't shown you today because I've got stuff that's going on in there. You would have heard earlier in the video, we've got a couple of other projects which are coming up, which we're trying to sort out and get done. So there is lots happening. Thank you for watching. Please keep doing so. And until the next time, bye-bye.